Blessed love and peace. I was showing this. That's the moon. Grandmother moon, Grandma Soleil. We're going to have to find another seat. Because I think we might have caught some deer creeping. Alright. We might not have a place to sit. Haha. And we should be expedient because the battery is kind of mid. Whoa. That was a little bit of lightweight, a pit right there. So we're going to stop walking in this dark that we haven't walked in a minute. Because, you know, we ain't be needing no broken ligaments. Alright, I shouldn't be talking too loud because it's probably still kind of loud. We're going to squat for a second. Oh, let's just be sensical here. Alright. So, gotcha. Here is some articulation of the situation. Actually, I'm not going to put this on too bright because it's dark here. And we're not trying to be... It doesn't make much of a difference, actually. So here we go. So, what am I showing? A blessing that includes Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A blessing that includes Baruch Chata Elohim Eloheinu Melech Olam Shehekod Nehiyah B'Divaro, and further blessings from additional traditions, teachers, languages, regions. And then after that, partaking of water, peanut butter and jelly. Actually, not yet. We have the peanut butter and jelly with us. Inshallah, Bizut Hashem, God willing. Jayom. And then we partake of this tomato basil flour tortilla wrap with the motzi, and then partake of some nice quality herb. I'm not going to give too much details about source and location otherwise, so that's what we share for the moment. Why? As we say before, continue to say, amidst being dead sober, quote unquote, from controlled substances, it's generally speaking for about 20 years. Smoked herb once 10 years ago. Well, anyways, not to get into the whole history. The point is, after all this, say the blessings and partake of the medicine. Particularly to show the true belief and practice and actuality and truth that it is medicine. And then in this experience, after considerable years of sobriety or quote unquote being without that experience of the medicine, on a spiritual path to articulate what is experienced in this phenomenon. So first, how do you can say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before partaking of herb? Did you not hear medicine? Is it a blessing to say? Is it a directive to say a blessing before medicine? So, and we don't want to we don't want to argue about that, but we do have to answer about that, and that's our explanation. I'm not gonna, so I shouldn't get snarky or strong, but that's our explanation, and it goes further as well. But if people are going to have a disagreement about that nature of a plant and its qualities and the purpose for partaking of the experience of that plant, then there's less point in saying other things as well. So, anyways, and then just have yet to learn any proper halakhic based blessing for partaking of herbs. So we say the blessing that we do say. Now, what's the reason for partaking of this? One, I'm informed that it is in agreement with the law, the earthly law. So there's less of that concern, as was one of the significant reasons of not partaking before, because it's unnecessary to, or it's not unessential. It's not an essential experience to incur the risks involved accordingly. So it's a further political decision other than a religious decision. I'm going to sit. The grass is not too wet, I don't think. We're not supposed to sit on wet grass, kinfolk. I should be mindful of where I place that glass of water, though. Oh, wait a minute. Was that it? Nope. Oh my gosh. That was it right there, was it? That would be it. Okay, at least we know where it is, though. That's probably also going to be wet right there. Oh, keeping up. Oh, gee. Alright, we are sitting. The moon is right there popping. So why are we doing all this? And I don't know what I'm actually sitting on, to be honest, why. But I do have peanut butter and jelly. I'm not going to put this arrow, I'm not going to leave it on there. That's what just happened a few minutes ago. As I was showing the moon, I grabbed the computer and I hit the click button. That just happened to be situated right on the stop. So then we resume recording. I'm probably going to merge those two videos and post it up as one, just because of protocols, and particularly because of the content, which may get situated one way or the other. Anyways, but that's all part of the purpose and the process right now, to see, particularly what I've shared through the years, in recent years, recent days, and with nothing, well, at least to our knowledge, without there being an action or a cancellation of account that might be purposeful. It might be just completely blocked anyways. You don't even have to pretend about canceling it. Anyway, so, but that's part of the purpose, because even then we see it, others see it. So, and that sends signals one way or the other. So that's one of the reasons for doing this, with the reaction, with the responses accordingly, online, in real life, and otherwise. And all the different directions I've already addressed and further. So now, just to like explain the circumstances, I'm located in an ordinance located within a spot that is other than a usual dig per se. So I'm visiting with loved ones, relatives, and I'm not trying to like blow up the spot or whatever, but also recognizing it's less of a difference, and that's probably what we're addressing here and why we're sharing this. So here, and part of the reason for being here is on, again, relationship, and it's always about marriage. I'm still searching for a wife and having the conversations accordingly and learning the lessons and cultivating discipline, understanding, and patience and trustworthiness and otherwise. So that's continuing. But even further, relationships amongst our clans and families. That's my reason for being here specifically at the moment. And I'm not going to say further information. I'm going to be mindful of how I speak and mindful of how much of what I share about details, particularly involving people other than myself, personally, specifically. Self-Ali. So that's the reason for me being here, and that's also the reason for what precipitates me partaking of herbal medicine, cannabis, marijuana, herb. The reason for doing that, for the sake of relationship, the pipe, the peace pipe, learning the process, because when partaking of this experience, even with native kinfolk, we are informed, we are taught, there is a different protocol. There's a sacred, ancient, specific protocol when partaking of hiji, tobacco. And amongst some certain native kinfolk, traditional native kinfolk, the same protocols are not applied to cannabis, a different plant. Understandable, doesn't have the same history, and additionally amongst native kinfolk on this continent, sacred and ancient within India and otherwise. But that's understandable for a tradition that herb is not as much of an experience with, to abstain from having the same austerity of protocols accordingly. So again, this is a preemptive or proactive reconciliation amongst our native brethren, our Rastafari brethren, our Desi brethren, and additionally how about this, the tobacco brethren and the cannabis brethren. Thinking about the geopolitic of the cannabis brethren and the tobacco brethren. And when I say tobacco, I'm saying all of tobacco, from the straight up native walking with a pouch to meet the chief whose daughter you're marrying, to Philip Morris Tobacco Road, I'm gonna tear it down, single blues tobacco. Tobacco Road, you're dirty and you're filthy. Gonna get some dynamite and a crane. Start it all over again. Now what was that on? Dee dee dee. I should reference the album now that I said that. Dirty and Filthy, that's to Dead Prez. Isn't it? Dead Prez. Oh yeah. Ding 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 ding. Alright. I know why I said that to someone, because that's my playlist version of it. Because after that, that's Street Blues from Audio Pharmacy. So the first one was Tobacco Road, which is an interlude on the Dead Prez Let's Get Free album from circa 1999. That number, Another Summer. Get down, sound of the funky drummer. Music hitting your heart, because I know you got soul, brothers and sisters. That's about a decade before that, because it was 1989. That number, haha, Another Summer. Anyways, I'm probably being loud now too. Am I different than what I usually am? So we partake of the herb. And that's something interesting. Like, how much do I trip when I'm flying compared to when I'm sitting? Adiga. Anyway, it's Aomi, to be precise, though, if we're gonna do it and play around with that. Who am I talking to? Indeed. Does it make further sense now? Actually, it, God willing, will, because that's what we're recording with if we have enough battery time. Oh, it's quiet. It's quiet. That's healing. That's almost funny. Can you hear me? Anyway, all right. Wow, it's quiet. And I can hear the animals. Did I say ooh? Yes. Please find patience with us, brethren, for our rude technology and immodesty. Would you please be understanding and have patience with us as we process this experience and exchange? I hear the brethren who's speaking with me right now as I say that, because I can feel that. Anyways, I'm getting loud again. All right. The brethren said, okay, but come on. So we're here for relationship, healing on a multiple of levels and circles, local as well as worldly, which is why I'm recording this with the intention of posting it with the recognition of it being surveillanced already. So that's all. This is all of it, and putting it in the open, because that's one thing This is not something we hide from. This isn't, and it's something, if we believe in, just like everything else I share, should be able to share it. Is it for children? Yes. 13 and over, that's your laws. That's your numbers. And yes. So, because it's the same thing. And again, this is not a hideaway, smoker, but we don't want to have no evidence. Evidence for what? We walk with God. We're not invincible. We're not better than anybody else. But we're not hiding anything. There's nothing behind the scene. We're not having sex in front of things because that's not the nature of it. There's protocols involved. We're not taking this shit in front of everybody either. How about that? Ooh, am I in the jungle? Yes. Am I always? Am I always? Am I always? Come on, that's a mixtape right there. Am I always? Am I always? Serious? No, come on. Doing the slow-mo remix. Slow wine Rastafari style. Do Bix man. Anyway, that's almost Manchester right there. Continuing on. I might trip it further than I usually do. When I'm flying, when I'm sitting. Ain't no stay tripping. Anyway, alright, no freestyle right now. Oh, no freestyle. Anyway, we got a purpose and we got a parameter. I hear myself how I talk when I'm in my 20s when I smoke, most recently, regularly. And I feel the same consciousness as when I'm high at that time compared to when I'm sober and usually doing this. So we smoke and we're here for a relationship. That sounds like humanoid brethren. It's not that late, to be honest, at the moment. But it's been dark for a minute because that's the nature of where we at up north. In the heart of it all. By the Great Lakes. Indeed. Yeah, there's a number of different type of animals out here right now. So we got to be mindful of that too now. Because we not in Kansas. Alright, continuing on. Relationship. We just saw a light that flash. Oh yeah, they can see me. Easy, easy. So I ain't hiding. I'm out in the open. For whoever it might be that might get an ID. So we're here. There aren't many wolves right here at the moment. Generally. Hyena is a little bit too cold for that. Don't sleep on foxes and don't sleep on coyotes. At the moment, we're inviting this, actually. There's a lot of uncertainty, but at the same time, there's a certain amount of indifference as well. So let's just continue communicating whilst we have battery. Indeed. So, interesting. I don't know people's creep up skills here. I can hear generally leaves when people are walking, particularly when we're in the woods right now. But this ain't where I live. I don't know the lay of the land like that. And there can be kinfolk with two legs that got very nice creep up skills when they smell an opportunity. I don't know. Oh, there's footsteps. There's gun practice here. Automatic. Regularly in earshot. We don't know who's hunting at night. And for what? So this is where we live. It is where we live, actually. Interesting, okay. So let's communicate. I'm here for relationship. And I was making sure it was recording. I didn't hit the button anymore again. So I'm here for relationship. on the multiple of levels. And in the experience that I have in visiting, and even before that, there's anticipation of the appropriateness of partaking of some herb with kinfolk in a traditional, respectful, disciplined, spiritual way, genuinely, and experiencing that healing of relationship through the medicine. That's the purpose. That's the peace pipe, regardless of what plant we put within it. Blot up, give thanks and praise to the Most High for the all facts. 100. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we share, that's what we show. We're not hiding it. It's nothing to hide. It's not something we proclaim loud and then scurry away. Oh, don't call the popo. We love the popo, as we love everybody. So we're not hiding it. We're not two-faced about it. And it's not a big deal to show it either. We don't have to show it. But the consideration is shared when I do partake with brethren, sistren, kinfolk. We do that first before right now, and I don't have personally the intention of doing this, even recording, not even thinking about it too tough actually. But then after partaking and recognizing what's happening, and into the intention of partaking of food, and don't have much is too tough. But this is part of the, I won't even say nostalgia, but the recollection, relationship, and routine, even ritual, peanut butter and jelly. So we're connecting with that cipher, even beyond space and time, with the medicine. It's not a crutch. It's not a drug. It is a food. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're showing, and that's what we continue with in terms of the honesty and whatever else. So and again, that's the tradition. As I said before, do people say Bismillah before partaking of medicinal, a prescribed medicine that the apothecaries of just 200 years ago most often caused harm than benefit? At least 200 years ago. Some could say even further recent than that. So that's what we're doing, showing this. Now, again, like I said, there's a different protocol that we learned. And so now one of our projects is learning further about the proper protocol when partaking ceremoniously of tobacco with native kinfolk. And then discerning what other traditions are in terms of, like I said, Judaism, what the blessing is for herbs specifically. Within Rastafari, what are the different methodologies in Bobo Shanti, 12 tribes, and Nyabingi, and other temples and houses. And in other cultures, from Scandinavia and otherwise, what's the protocols when kinfolks smoke a herb in a proper, mindful way? I say a blessing. I flummox the blessing quietly, and that's part of my wrestling. This is all wrestling, continuing. I wrestle with tripping through the woods and everything else like that. I'm with the spirits in many ways. I'm always with the spirits. I'm with the angels and the demons, as I've said before. So, but in the influence, partaking of water, we're under the influence, and that's not to negate that experience and the importance of what I said before about being under the influence. But the key factor is heavily or not. I am increasingly compared to what I usually am. And part of the purpose of recording this, in addition, is comparing how much and otherwise, how better and how worse, allegedly. And to continue to learn. And here's one other thing. Oh yeah, that's a big thing actually, to be honest. I think I've spoken a fair amount. Have yet. The hour mark is going to be somewhat askew because right now I'm reading 24, 57, 58, 59, 25, Gente Cinco. But again, this is the second of two recordings. The first one is about 10-15 minutes. I don't know how loud I'm being. So it seems louder sometimes and quieter other times. There are deer. I camped here before for a long time. So I know a little bit of this particular area, even at this time of year. There are deer who walk here, and additionally, particularly during the night. Other animals too, so it's regular to hear footsteps. Less regular to see a light, but people walk by here nearby, and additionally, that's a norm. But at the same time, there's a remoteness, particularly at night, and as everything I said before is facts. So, it's all different types of animals that walk the forest, all types of kinfolk. So we're here for a relationship. We're not hiding it. We're not. It's not sneaking around. It's not being naughty. It's not being militant and two-faced. We're hardcore, but we're not going to show it because the popo and the man's going to do something. No. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We understand in recent year or whatever, that Ohio officially legalizes the utilization, or I shouldn't say legalizes, no longer threatens to impose violence upon people for partaking of the herb, because that's what the law is. It's like what we're going to do if you do this and what we're going to do if you do that. So it's not allowing. There's no allowing. It's just a matter of threatening consequences. There's no ownership. There's just, if you stay here without my permission, then I'm going to get back. So anyway, all right. Again, there's no law. When you make up the law, ain't no law. There might be order. But then that would be a different TV show. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Down, 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 do 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 do, dun dun. Do 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 do. Is a very adapted version of the conciliation song provided for those people who did not like that pun. Unintended, of course. So how are we doing in terms of genuine spirituality and making sense and being entertaining and avoiding hypocrisy on a scale of 1 to 10? Around here we call that a 20. Okay, Belon. Trying to think of another word. Nubian. You know better. How about that? No better. The no better. Ooh. What you call that? That's the no better. The no better. Make it no better. Anyway, for those who know. Better. Anyway, alright. So we're here for relationship healing. And serious tip. I think I've addressed the serious part of it, or whatever the criticisms that we might get, the questions and the accusations and condemnations. Let's talk about this. Hands getting a little bit chilly though, and we're being mindful of the battery because I can eat in quiet, and that's why I'm out here, because I'm planning to be loud or whatever else. Oh, that's the other thing also. Why are we sharing this? So first of all, we do think about that. Like, this is not my spot. What about privacy, this and the other? When we're going to be honest about things, here's what I already recognize. Once I opened up this computer to do my work, I was exposed to the camera. And so me being exposed to the camera, other people have the shot that people had already. And people can get all different things. Just by me having the computer here, it's tracked. So in terms of privacy, and additionally privacy against whom? And if you're private against certain people, how confident do you feel about that? Because the people who have even further capabilities already have that. There's no privacy. So then what's the purpose? It's almost like equal opportunity privacy, meaning that, well, the big elite pirates have access to this, so we should make it fairly available to the low-level pirates. to be able to access what we're doing. That's like basically the decision people are talking when doing all the privacy things. It's discerning who you're going to let. It's not like some people are going to have what you were doing. It's like how many people are you going to allow. And sometimes, yeah, we don't have to make it all available, but just in this particular circumstance, with what we do and the topic and everything else like that, who we kidding? Who? Let's be honest about this. Come on. Interesting that. Oh. That's also a regular occurrence, honest to be. I mean, to be honest, to be honest, that actually is a regular occurrence. So I'm gonna speak further on that. And I'm trying to be too obvious about where I'm at and blow up the spot. But I didn't go through protocols that would be usually done because we're working with a little bit further protocols at the moment. And that's not to say this and the other, but that's just how we're processing this at the moment, with all due respect and with due consideration, even amidst being in the clouds at the moment, in the trees. I'm in the trees. If you see the moon, I don't know if you can see any branches, but there's some branches in between us and the moon right now. Letting you know, there are some branches between us and the moon right now. I'm letting you know. All right, and that's what I'm tripping off, because this is how I would talk when I was high in law school, and people would laugh at me, but they would laugh at me in a loving way, like, yo, that's amazing, that's funny. And I would be like, why are you laughing? Like, what did I say? I'm almost like that 3-year-old boy in the toddler seat in Brazil, talking about the animals. Mama, I don't want to eat a pig. Pigs are beautiful, birds are beautiful, chickens are beautiful. Did I say something beautiful? That's what it was like in law school. And I mean, I'm just being facts, because I'm having that experience. This is the most recent occasion I smoke out since then. Like, tough. I did smoke out, as I shared with kinfolk yesterday. I did smoke with kinfolk, same thing, 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. And those exact kinfolk went on to betray, and love and peace to them. God bless the kinfolk. But that's what happened. We were working on some things on the front lines, and kinfolk flipped. And this is after studies. Ain't sacred studies are shared in a genuine way. Kinfolk want like 180%, and we can't blame kinfolk. We understand this is how it is. Kinfolk got to make their decisions, whatever else. So it's no hate, but we can't make ourselves available to that again, or to the same degree. So it's been 10 years since then, and we've learned, and we build. Things are in a different state at this moment. Still trodden, still gets hectic or whatever else, but we've made some strides by the grace of the Most High. Hallelujah, alhamdulillah, baruch Hashem. So that's the most recent occasion I smoked. It was just 10 years ago, and it was only once on one day, a few puffs, and that's it. Different situation, different. What's it they say? Different 10-4. Different ordinance or coordinates, I guess it would be. That's the coordinates. Coordinate. You got to coordinate. How about that? And we still haven't gotten to the zinger. We're going with the zinger, the quantity zinger today. We'll see how it registers again, particularly given the conditions of where I'm at. There's other reasons for showing the herb as well. So I think I answered the reason about sharing it without the concern of privacy, because once I opened this computer to do work earlier, already set things off. Just bringing here, it's already being traced. It's already being tracked. So, the consideration was record this and share the information about the substance, what we're discussing and sharing, showing the herb, the diplomacy of that. Is that right? If we're doing the first bite, is it the first toke according to the protocols pronounced by Sister Mirintia of Ghana, Japan, and further? So this is a relationship. We're doing the if it's IRL, what is online? ONL? I don't know. What is that? If there's IRL, what's the complementary digital version of that? Does anybody know? Can we Reddit that? Is that a thing verbally? Anyways, all right. That's one of the reasons why we do this. So I was saying And how does this compare when I'm delusional if I'm falling asleep? If you know, then you know. Those who know, know. I can hear something out there now on the leaves. It's probably an animal, maybe a dog. But I heard something like drops. And that's the other thing too. It rains and precipitation, moisture from gets dewy. We in a swamp right now. It gets dewy. It's cold. That ain't smoke. That's. Yeah, I'm gonna do all that. It gets dewy, and the moisture falls onto the leaves and everything. It sounds like sound drops. So sound drops. How about that? Now I gotta think of that. It sounds like footsteps. Sound drops. How about that? Particularly in context of the description. It would be nice if you could see the visual, because it's like the moon is bright. It's not even full, but it's bright. And it's like when I first came, it felt like there was a spotlight out. That's how, because I was out here just a few minutes ago, which I'm supposed to get into. And the battery's getting low. We were at 37. We're at 28 now. All right. Trippy. How does this compare to me recording at black in my spot where I stay, our domicile, with my housemates? How does that compare to what this is? Half falling asleep, back checking if that was a mouse or somebody at the door, or a crash in the tent. The sukkah. That was another light. That could have just been a vehicle, though. That actually might be what that is. Okay. How does that compare? That'd be interesting to see, because I think I'm somewhat further sober at the moment. I still haven't partaken of the food. I spilt the water. I'm still in the zone. So talking. I'm gonna take a bite whilst I'm out here and talking. Oh, wait a minute. I do have spoons. Ooh. I was thinking I didn't have the spoons. You could play spoons. A friend of mine says, Peter used to be thin. I'm like, when? When did you know me and I was thin? I'm looking at myself now, pumping. It's cold, it's winter, but still, I'm not this big, but still, get some walking in there. We're gonna bring that peanut butter and jelly. We ain't even have to worry about the water. It's gone. Unless we're gonna drink dew. I'm not gonna plug companies. Oh yeah, let's get to the point here, because we only got so much time. We're gonna do a tortilla peanut butter and jelly thing here. I'm not gonna worry. There's not much peanut butter left. We're here for the relationship. And that's what we're sharing. And again, given the spiritual background, this now that might just drop. Hopefully not in the bar of peanut butter. We don't need nutrients like that at this moment. There's probably not that much nutrients in the mucus of what's the nostril thing? Body. Are we gonna let that spoon drop and maybe lose some peanut butter? No. Oh, great. This saga. That was a poem earlier today that we did not write. Every day is epic. Still have yet to write it, because we got other things to do, like have peanut butter and jelly. I'm not high per se, actually, at all. I may be silly, but anyway, and that's the thing too, because my spiritual consciousness, it's not a matter of questioning about getting high rather than mentality, but I do have in the nostalgia experience what it's like when I'm in my 20s, and conceptualizations accordingly. So let's get to the grist of this thing. What do they call it? The zazz, the dazzle. Is that what we call it? You remember? We don't know who's out here. Remember, we gotta live life. Indifference. Then why are you looking so scurry? Remember life and all that stuff. Alright. So that's actually part of it, to show this part of my personality as well. Particularly well anyway. Actually, this is my personality when I'm sober. Ask those who know. Um, but they're comparatively few. Hallelujah. Baruch Hashem. Alhamdulillah. Jai Om. So, now we're eating from the fingers. Again, it's not gorilla. It would be nice to have some water right now. Relationship, relatability, reality. In the sensory Samsara type of way, with preferably less saliva, if possible. Saliva is okay, but in the proper place. This isn't a different side of me either. It's a further social side, a pseudo-social side to be exact, when having interaction with a device like this. I have to be loud. I have to be smacking and my lips are closed. Is that loud? I don't know. And that is, he's high. I'm actually not that high. No, I'm seriously not. No, seriously. No, but I'm serious. No, seriously. How much further trippy am I like this compared to my other joints? Please do not go viral. Please do not. Seriously, no, seriously. Please. I don't want shorts. I'm doing memes. Stop. Did I just show my food? This dude. I'm usually like this. You just don't see it. Right? Too much. Stop. I know. Stop. No. This is not funny. Seriously though, come on, please. I've tried. I love you. It's getting creepy. I know. Relationship. So I'm going to look for another tortilla. I do not know the name of the herb manufacturer. It's not a manufacturer. Let's get the mentality right. The provider of the herb. I don't know if I would say if I did know. Don't know if I wouldn't. What are we hiding? This is not where the light is coming from. Is it? I'm looking for the peanut butter. There we go. That's why it's beneficial to avoid speaking with negative rhetoric, because where does that go? There's a spoon already there. Hopefully there are not ants. At night, yes. In the cold, don't sleep. I don't know. I don't see any ants. I spent about 10 minutes looking for the bag of herb that the kinfolk gifted to me because I didn't know where I put it. And that might sound hypochondriac or whatever, of over-session. Yeah, he's definitely high. And my friends probably think that now. Yeah, he's probably definitely high. I don't know where I left the herb. Okay, fine. I forget things like everybody else does. And am I being obsessive about looking for it? I don't know what the animals here eat or how much. So I don't want to find out the sad way and just say, oh, my bad. Bump that. So I'm looking, and I'm trying not to be disturbing of people who are like getting ready to sleep and everything. I'm looking around for this thing. And I say, yo, I'm looking for the bag. Is it going to be safe for the animals? Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't know if people know. The next day, Peter spent 25 hours looking for a bag. Should we tell them what we put in the doggy food every day? Oh, did I reveal too much? All right, let me go back to just talk about myself. I could have said doggy. I could have. I was ambiguous enough because it was all hypothetical, kind of, sort of. Isn't it? Is there such a thing as hypothetical? Or are you just conjuring and communicating realms? Oh, definitely trippy. I talk about this all the time. Why is it further accessible if I have herb? But that's the thing. That's what we do. That's one reason why I share it. Again, particularly with Rastafari brethren. I have never saw him smoke. He's a narc. Don't make a difference if a brethren smoke or not about that. But there is a relatability, an affirmation, relationship, purpose, proceed. This is Red Raspberry. To be honest, officially, our jam of in my clan, the jam is Lingonberry. Loud. But this is what's available at the moment, and this is the favorite of mine growing up. Facts. So I had to. Did I just give a plug? Whatever. Body temperature has been dropping. We're getting to the hour mark too. My knee wasn't hurting before. Medicine. My knee wasn't hurting before when I put on my shoes and bent my knee to tie my laces. Now I'm in the cold. The cold does its thing to the joints. You already know that. I'm less under the influence than I was when I began this joint. I'm having food, so that is diluting the effect, perhaps. So I feel my knee further. And I'm also sitting cross-legged in the cold for about at least 20 minutes thereabouts already. So I'm starting to feel my knee again. But I did not feel my knee in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. I know that one right there. Hallelujah. And Hene Matov. So, a needle pulling thread. A note by Lauryn Hill. She was spoken of at the bus stop yesterday. Blessings. Blessings upon classics. Upon blessings upon classics. Blessings upon classics. Do I look possessed? Am I under the influence? I'm looking. You got the communication Let's get to the point. The battery's low. Yes, we see that too. We see that too. I'm trying to be mindful of where my items here are so I don't be leaving it here inadvertently and pollute. So all right, here we go. We're at probably 15, 10, and it's also cold here too. We're eating it up without eating it up. I'm still trying to put the top on this thing. All right. Multitasking? Yeah, men aren't supposed to be doing that too tough. The spoons are there too. All right, here we go. So, relationship, that's what we're doing here. That's geese. Or at least geese sounds. We're out here for relationship. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be talking inside at this moment either. You knew he's fat. You knew he was going to eat anyways. I think we're covering the most of it. Whatever we did, we'll just get to the zinger that we said. Star Wars. I've seen Star Wars. What I would just smoked out 2 hours ago at this point. 3. The dark was just setting. It was getting dark. I could see some stars. Beautiful. I see some planes pass by. Flashing lights. Okay, no, that's not starlight, starbright. And then the jelly can drip. And I can be under it. So we got mindful of that. We saw Star Wars. I saw Star Wars. What am I talking about? Lights. It could be a lot of things these days compared to 30, 40 years ago when people talk about UFOs. But this is easily Star Wars. This is Star Wars. If you see like a Star Wars scene of like the fighting from a distance, this is Star Wars. That's what I see. It's not flashing. It's not flashing stars or whatever it's called. What is it? It's not shooting stars. It's not coming out the nose. Yo, I got only 2 hands. What do you think I'm doing with this? Holding a bag of tortilla at the same time and not even feeling it because it's colder now. Anyway, Star Wars. That's what we see. Lights, zoom, 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 here and there from a long distance. It could be a light show from drones. It could be drones, but we see Star Wars, and that can be just like satellites and drones and ships, and additionally getting at each other. Factions trying to vie for satellite territory for signals of all different types, and so literally fighting each other. Colonies existing right now and doing orbits. People, families traveling for 2 months, 2 weeks, or whatever, out in the outer atmosphere, but nearby, not the moon, but outer atmosphere. And it's the thing, regular. Have you vacationed in that satellite yet? No, not yet. But we're planning our trip. We're on the waiting list. That's happening now. Star Wars. Further and further numbers of people living in standby stations, preparing for colony life, Mars, and further. Actual locations at the moment. Bunkered places, less bunkered places, remote places, deserts, Antarctica, most definitely. Cruises, vacations of visits and orientations and shopping in terms of which bunker to go to. Like doing college tours, but doing tours of these remote colonies with highly technology, advanced kinfolk becoming just test tube babies. Drone missions being planned and launched from these bunker colonies. Warfare being coordinated Technology being distributed, smuggled through transmissions, airwaves, wireless, satellite, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, competition, sabotage, warfare, Star Wars. College is just being a front. A lot of things just being fronts. People visit for a minute and then go back to the colony. Storylines, long established, collectives, plots, actors, theater, Truman Show, macro style, MacBooks, Big Macs, Mac Attack, Snack Pack, Jack, No Slack, Jet Black, and Blue. Thought you knew what this game would do to you. Been it all the way since 92. Look at all the bullshit we've been through. So gonna be with you know who. Reconciling with a few female stars or two. Continuing on, big up Christopher Wallace. That's an interesting light right there. Slowly going vertically up. So anyways, all right, Star Wars, that's what we see. People going, studying programming, preparing to be these astronauts, and additionally, as a lifestyle, having to know advanced technology at a young age, just as basic training, coding, and everything else like that. Letting go of piano and other types of mechanics and straight programming. Don't even know how to write. That's so ancient. Preparing to do long stints in the satellites. Looking like those orange jumpsuit Star Wars pilots with those yellow glasses and orange glasses. Preparing to be that. It's not the Air Force. It's not the F-35s. It's not even the drone controllers in the lower atmosphere, supersonic speed even. We're talking space, the final frontier. People are already here for a while, for generations at this point, in a normalcy. It's much easier behavioral control through the media now, these days. We don't even have to hide the Star Wars. You don't know if it's fake, if it's real or otherwise. Don't even have to discount it. Don't have to hide it from the masses or whatever else. The concerns and the plots and everything are different now. It doesn't matter what people know. There's over information. It's overload. People don't want to know. Whatever. Who else saw that? Did you track their transmission? What bunker are they in? What's their rank? What's the level of deterioration that we can impose? How plausible is that? Have you run the scenarios? Done the analytics? What's their DNA? What do we have developed for that one? Oh. What about them over there? Oh, no, don't worry about that. That's these scenarios now. What's the story we're going to share as the official joint? Who do we got to promote that? What have they been in recently? Oh, okay. No, we're talking about Hollywood, not Potomac area. Oh, wait a minute. It's the same thing. That's the scenario these days. That's the scenario. Here we go, yo. Must be takeoff hour. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Interesting. All right. All right. So anything else about the Star Wars? That's what we observe. People in airplanes, people still do that. That's nothing to be shameful of. I mean, that's how we get from one bunker to another. So we resort to that form of travel. You're not a lesserling. You can. There's still hope for you. There's still some opportunities for test tube assignments, test tube baby residences. Maybe you get a scholarship. That's respectable. A lot of things can happen in a few generations. Want to give your progeny opportunities. Anyway, this is it. And then, well, we don't know what happened to so and so. We don't speak about that. Well, we've been informed. Da 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 da. It's a sad thing, you know. There's nothing. There's no guarantee for any of us these days. Those surfacelings. You know the type of effect they can have without even meaning to. Yeah, I know it's our doing, but hey, we do our best, don't we? What is he talking about? The telepathy cipher, the strengths and vulnerabilities that are unobvious and beyond the senses, and yet known. So that's what this purpose is. That's what this purpose is. The purpose of this thing right here at the moment. To show continuity, congruency, continuity, coherency. And now we haven't gotten the warning yet, but we're right there, 17% now. Beautiful conversations and reasonings recently. Strong reasonings. Hallelujah, alhamdulillah, Baruch Hashem, Jayom, Medo, Shishe, Oh, Jayom. And we continue on. Probably a little bit louder than what is appreciated right now. Probably the windows are closed though, so. But kinfolk also do appreciate fresh air. Anyway, what else? So just showing this, and again, we don't hide. No, don't have to hide the children. This is family. This is medicine. Doesn't mean children necessarily partake of this. But we're not hiding it from children. We learn protocols. We're not disrespectful about that, and not flippant about that either. There are a lot of other things going on, so we do our best with the moment, and we make decisions accordingly, with an understanding of certain purposeness and further. So, anything else about Star Wars? I mean, that's the basic gist of it. And again, just the other thing is like recognizing that all this that I just described is communicated nearly 50 years ago, easily. And before that, Star Wars itself, George Lucas, science fiction, gets way further advanced and detailed with actual science knowledge than what I articulate. Things from 60, 70 years ago. Star Trek, that's just the Hollywood stuff, all the literature, and then the studies, and then like the startups. So, on the actualities. So, um, that's much of it for the moment. Still searching for a wife. I'm not going to be details about that either because, again, there is modesty, and we don't share everything. Um, so, and we are mindful of people's well-being. What's the difference? There is a heightened aversion that society, at least democracy, generally has towards marriage. So there is, and that's the nature of the universe. There's There is a primordial, esoteric, charismatic attraction and support for marriage, and there's this a similar phenomenon in energy and sentience against. And this continual struggle, and ultimately, again, a man has to wrestle with himself in offering himself as partnership to a woman, and similarly with a woman, as we understand as men. If I'm going to be unpresumptuous, then I should say just anybody. So, all right. That's what we have to share this moment. And my feet. It's been gotta feel my feet if I'm gonna walk from these clouds. See what the vapors do. We also say the relatability for kinfolk, young people perhaps might be able to relate better with what I communicate, and seeing the similar experience as being done, even as youngsters might perceive it as rebellious or revolutionary or juvenile or hardcore or cool or just like is how we do whatever it is. Okay, if there's a better relatability to absorb some of the other things that we share in terms of discipline, ethics, peace, sharing, chastity, honesty, and sobriety. Did I stutter? Did I lie? Am I saying the same thing? Have I broken that? Sobriety? Holy? Do we say this medicine? Are we going to have this conversation continually? Medicine that makes you da-da-da-da-da? Makes me how? How? Harmful? Delusional? Psychotic? Schizophrenic? Bipolar? Relaxed? Mellow? Fluid? Light? Related? Loved? Laughed at? Was that when I was sober, or was that when I was sober with word? Word or herb? Or were you going to say weed? Ah. Oh. Me. Oh, me. That's our kinfolk. Our kindness. That's much of what we have to share at this moment. World Matriarchs Scholar. World Matriarchs Study Program continues by the grace of the Most High. Most High. Let's be honest. And just recognize. So, anything else before the battery jumps? Love and peace to everybody. Truly, truly. Do I still have the snot? Is that distracting? I can't tell right now. I can't tell. Right. Now. I do notice that. I do see. 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 Do see? I. How many languages was that? No telling. My toes, though. My toes. My toes, though. Oh, my toes and my knee. All right, what else we got? Anything else for the moment? We're past an hour. We've done that one already. Let's go. Let's go. Almost. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because if this just drops, that means no recording at all. How about that? Remember that? All right. Anything else to share? Truly. All right. Let's wrap this up. I'm still gonna, God willing, partake of some food, so I'm still gonna be in the zone with that. I've said a blessing. God willing, I'll say a blessing when we conclude this for all the things that are shared within the Zoom. I'm just going to stop recording right now, particularly because of the battery. And then without recording, I'm going to go inside, God willing, and then sit down. So I'm not going to record inside again because that's why I'm here right now. But I plan to like continue finishing the meal that I was eating before. So that's just the explanation of why I'm not saying the blessing right now as I conclude. So God willing, I'll remember and continue when I do conclude. And I've had lots of concentration when I'm within people's conventional liking, kind of, kind of, nah. Toes. Whew. That was the semblance of a shooting star, but that looked a little bit too bright, too orange, too big, too close. Star Wars. Oh, here's the other thing. It also explains a lot. Explains the experience of dreams, because that's a process of the communication. Again, the surfacelings who don't have the high technology, whatever. Again, the power of the mind. Understand the cipher, the power of dreams, the power of the herb, and the experience of me getting high and how that affects the kinfolk in the satellites and the bunkers, and additionally in the cipher, and how that registers on the different measurements and everything else like that, just by the mind. And then how that translates to the signals that are redirected here to the actors that are on the ground doing their missions and everything else like that. Young people are around and talking now. I hear the voices speaking. Beautiful hallelujah. And we're getting later in the night. So it's no surprise. It's not abnormality. But these are the conditions. And perhaps one of the reasons why I continue doing this is because people see it. People need it, because what we also observe is how people are in pins and needles. And like there's a huge spectrum of possibilities and scenarios and probabilities and otherwise, but like people are guarded about what people are saying in public and private and this and the other, because it's heard, and there are consequences in all different directions by all different types of factions. So people are saying things, guarded things, trying to like communicate without communicating, like those typical films, movies about the kidnap thing or whatever. They can't talk. They have to like just kind of situation. That's life every day now. Talking with people like that. Some people have further courage and no gives a fuck to speak like this. But it's another thing to have discipline of being honest and not get mad, and like just like studying like what's going on, and like who needs help and how can we help them, whoever it be. We love you all. That takes some further, and that's why perhaps I'm being supported and being able to continue living and sharing this, because that's value to someone. Let me tell it. I'm a piece of shit. I walk with God no better worse than anybody else. I work for humble. So, there it is now. Yeah, the battery is low, so things are quiet. We're at 13. We could probably get down to about 5, but we don't need to test it either. We should be mindful of storage. Storage should be okay. Yeah, we got 45. We did some things. Preparation. That's one. We still do that. Yeah. All right. But yeah, the dreams. I do. Seeing the Star Wars, literally seeing the lights and everything else like that. I wasn't trying to look for it. I'm not trying to see it. I'm not trying not to see it. I'm fairly indifferent. I'm not hallucinating. I see what I saw. It was just all different, like a video game, and not even necessarily a video game, but just like a scene from like one of those Star Wars episodes of seeing the action happening from the surface of a planet. I think that was one of the old school episodes from the 70s, 80s, whatever, of seeing that scene. I know there's that shot of the 2 suns or something, of the 2 moons, one of those joints, and it looked like the part. It looked like a vacation thing, a tourist A commercial. All right, yeah, all right. I gotta quiet down. I know I gotta wrap up. So, I saw it, and the other thing about dreams, I've seen this in my dreams. I've seen the cloud warfare. I've seen the fear of the aliens. I've seen the things that are tripping outside from just what's happening on Earth, in the satellites, in people's imaginations, in people's preparations for being in these places. And dreams being manifest and being scared about the aliens and angels, the spiritual, the esoteric, but not at the same time being able to admit it, because that's going to change values and opportunities and everything like that. So this is what I share is like a diplomatic thing. Let me tell it as best I can. So amidst the races, amidst the religions, amidst the science, and amidst the angels, amidst the aliens, and all that, amidst the cannibals and pedophiles and Satan worshippers and all that. So, and one of the key factors for all of this is that we don't condemn anybody, and we don't just give everybody free willy everything. No, either. All right, I'm wrapping up. So that's what we have to share. We give all thanks to praise the Most High Elohim, known by many different names and beyond all names. Blessed love and peace in Rastafari.